The small village of Gevaudan isn't known for much in modern times, unless you count the beast. If you've heard of Gevaudan, it's likely because of the beast being tacked in front of it. Between 1764 and 1767, a terrible creature hunted the French village of Gevaudan. A monster which tore throats and took the lives of anywhere from 200 to 300 people. It preferred women and children, and female children for some reason, with survivors describing a shaggy beast, with a coat coloration from tawny to red, even to black, with a lighter underside. It was even sometimes described with stripes or spots. This beast, with its massive teeth and claws, a tufted tail, about the size of, descriptions say anywhere from the size of a horse to the size of a young bull. So, you can work that out for yourself. Now, historians have the idea that the beast was a wolf-dog hybrid. While those can get pretty big, they don't get horse big or even young bull big. King Louis XV popped up like, hey, this is getting kinda bad. You know what? Kill the wolf responsible and I'll pay you a reward. And so it went that thousands of hunters descended on the region. King Louis XV also brought in a dragoon captain named Jean-Baptiste Duhamel. And yet, thousands of hunters, a dragoon captain, professional wolf stalkers, and the French Royal Guard couldn't find the beast. Enter Francois Antoine, who in September of 1765 shot the enormous wolf of Chazé. The body was stuffed and put on display in Versailles, and he killed the wolf's mate and pups for good measure. You'd think that would be the end of it. But the attacks continued, and by then, the royal court stopped caring. Back to square one. The attacks finally ended in 1767, after multiple poison traps were set. The beast that had survived gunshots, traps, experienced hunters, and even an attempt with a silver bullet, taken out with poison. At least, that's what we think happened, because once the traps went up, the beast wasn't seen again. No more dead children, no more traumatized women, no more creepy artist renderings. Gevaudan was completely at peace. If you visit the town today, you'll find mention of the beast everywhere, from street signs to artwork, and even a statue. It's the boogeyman, carried into time current from long ago. So what was it? Okay. From what I've gathered as a nobody with too much free time, I'm going to say the beast of Gevaudan was, in fact, a lion. Now, to be more specific about it, an Asiatic lion. Why did I pick this subspecies? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Let me explain. While the range of the Asiatic lion is limited in modern times to the Gir National Forest in Gujarat, it was once as widespread as Turkey all the way down to Tamil Nadu. The African subspecies would require a boat to get a hold of. Do you want to be the guy to get the lion on the boat? I don't want to be the guy to get the lion on the boat. The Asiatic lion is known for having a sparse mane and a bushy tail. The mane and coat coloration ranging from classic tawny to shades of red and silver, with spots and striations being reported on occasion. This big cat is adapted to the dry scrub forests of India, and a male on average grows to 400 pounds and is on average 42 inches tall at the shoulder. A male gray wolf, the species found in France, grows to maybe 88 pounds and 32 inches at the shoulder. Witnesses described the beast to make a noise closer to a horse's neigh than a wolf's howl. Now, that might not make much sense, but hear me out here. Look up a lion roar compared to a horse's whinny. They both start out kinda high and then they end kinda low with a weird vibrato thingy at the end. You know what? I'll just put the comparison here so you don't have to do any of the hard work, okay? I know it sounds weird when I say it. But now the real question. How the hell did the lion get to France? Rich people are crazy. If you're rich, powerful, and have royal blood in you, yeah, buddy, you can have a lion. Menageries, or private zoos for royalty, were a thing, and the French royalty weren't touted for having restraint. Do we need to talk about the madness that was Versailles? Maybe a little. There was an amphitheater built just for wild animal fights, put into play by King Louis XIV to entertain nobility and courtesans. He had lions, leopards, tigers, elephants, and so many more captured creatures. This guy had 2 menageries, one in Versailles and one further out in Vincennes. But the one in Vincennes closed when they outlawed animal fighting, so they moved all the animals to Versailles. Road trip, and that was in the 1720s. The Beast of Gevaudan didn't show until 40 years after that. Lions don't live that long, and modern-day Gevaudan and what they called Gevaudan are not the same place. Gevaudan, where this took place, is now modern-day Lozère and some of Haute-Loire. Either way, that's a long way to travel for a lion, especially a geriatric. So, while lions existed in France, the lion these people were terrorized by was likely not from the same stock as the menagerie lions. Even if somehow a pregnant female escaped and her offspring survived, they wouldn't have lived long enough to be the beast. But you don't have to be a king to do crazy shit. Perhaps a well-to-do nobleman had a wild beast brought to him for the thrill of the hunt with the comforts of home. Or maybe he thought he'd let the beast free and see what it could do without bars and brick to contain it. Maybe it escaped, and it was starving. Asiatic lions are known for going after larger prey than themselves. Now, humans aren't massive, but we're often seen by animals as bigger than we are in reality because we're bipeds. In the States, where I'm from, if you couldn't tell, you're told to make yourself look bigger by fanning your clothes and waving your arms to scare off black bear and mountain lion. 2 predators that are well within their means to take you out if they're hungry. But the Beast of Gevaudan looks nothing like a lion. Doesn't it? Shaggy fur, tufted tail, massive grin full of giant teeth. But let's try a thought experiment. Close your eyes and imagine with me. There's a creature that stands like a man, with a long, powerful tail. It has enormous claws on its hands, and the head of a horse. Its fur is short, gray, and brown, and it is fierce when confronted. It has a torso much like a man, and has enormous feet that give it agility unmatched by man. Got an image? I just described a kangaroo. Now, if I described this to an artist who had no knowledge of what a kangaroo was, wouldn't it make sense that the artist would glean a description from what they already knew? Peasants in that time period weren't likely to know about lions. But wolves. They knew what wolves were, and they knew this monster was not a wolf. But wolf was all they had to go by. Lions may have existed in the menageries of Versailles, but Versailles was hundreds of miles out and only available to the wealthy. Their best estimate of what a lion looked like was probably based on what they knew of wolves, and possibly just, maybe, the rumors of what a lion could look like. But depictions often portray a shaggy, wolf-like creature, not because it was a wolf or a wolf-dog hybrid, but because when a wolf is your basis, and the idea of what a lion might look like are all you've got to go by, well, it's no wonder we have no idea what the monster was. Nobody back then knew what it was either. But take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a biologist, I'm not a historian, and I am not a cryptozoologist by any stretches of the imagination. I'm also not the first person to call the beast a lion. I'm just trying to put fact to something that I'm likely not going to get any answers to. But that's the fun part. Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, I'll see you past sunset. Good night.